room. Soren, tell the room what the suburb is.
I can't do that, man. You know it's not right,
It's not right. No, tell us. I'm asking you. No, I want you to say me.
We don't do that to old people.
Tell us the name of the suburb.
We don't do that to the elderly.
So you don't know. So you don't really know.
We don't do that to the elderly.
You don't know. Your mind
I'm going to be responsible for you being on your own.
Your mind is so broken. You don't even remember what you said.
Do you actually interact with anyone outside this house?
Do you?
I don't think you do, no.
I'm about to get on an airplane to go with my family to a resort. Does that count? So I'll check in from the resort. Will you be happy to talk to us? Sorry?
Is the part of the
I want to show.
Is the part of the nursing home excursion? Is that what it is? The excursion of the nursing home?
The funny thing is that I do think that Soren is an anti-Semite, but it's like a very mild one.
Not a mild one, no. He's a sick one. It's a psychiatric disease.
Well, listen, Roddy is from Israel. I disagree with him with many things, but I've listened to him because he's from there. You are not from there. You're a fucking American pensioner in New York. You're nobody.
Well, I'm
not.
That's
why you get involved.
Well, every Jew in the world is involved.
No,
Did you not know that?
Come on, no. You don't have identity. You got identity.
Again.
Like the mobs that in Europe that
listen.
end up with ISIS.
Listen to him, Robbie.
I'm concerned about you, man. You have an identity problem.
No, I'm just a Jew like every other Jew.
No,
and we're all.
Come on, because you've been under the anti-Semitism in the U.S. Just trying to, be part of the Israel. By the way, if you go to Israel, nobody treats you the way that is because you don't know about
No, they treat us great. They love us.
Hey, you don't know about Israel. You don't eat Israeli food.
No, sure we do. Of course we do. Of course we do.
Tourists there. And by the way, they're wrong. They're happy about you. American dollar coming in. They're happy about you.
Hang on a second, sorry. Mark, how do Israelis react to American Jews, Mark? How do they treat us? Mark and I go there fairly frequently. They love us. Mark, we're like listen, like rock stars.
Not like normal people, like freaking heroes and rock stars.
Yeah, because
they love and appreciate
U.S. dollar. I mean, for sure they do. But they don't treat you as part of them.
Well, there is no difference between part of them.
Common sense. I mean,
well, we pray in Hebrew and they speak English. So, Mark, here's the other thing.
You don't go to the 7-Eleven and pray in Hebrew. You can't speak the language.
Don't go to the 7-Eleven and pray in Hebrew.
Of course, I mean, you go to the language.
Mark, can you explain how we're all one Jew and how we all love each other? Could you explain that? Because he's very jealous.
I didn't
He doesn't have a community.
I think you have because you're not.
Sven, hush for a second. So yesterday I was at the DNC here in Chicago. That's where I live, and I'm running for Congress, so people kind of know who I am, or some people anyway recognize me. So I was a Jew, and I'm telling you, the Super Bowl of Palestinian rallies, they had 10,000 people wearing, keffiyehs and wearing, signs about Palestine, this and that. And Norman was so disconcerting. They had 4 Orthodox rabbis and Syrian apartheid guys holding up the signs, and they made them like the stars of the rally. They were free Palestine and all these, end Israel, all this stuff. But anyway, you know what? I came to, and here I am, a Republican, conservative, Zionist Jew, proud of it. But they did have like almost 1,000 police officers there, so it was
really. Did you have that experience, Mark, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Did you have this kind of program?
Shut up. Just shut your mouth, will you? And I'm talking. When I'm done, you can talk. So anyway, I learned to treat them like I'm treating you with no respect because these people.
Because you're Zionist, man. That's why. Because you're Zionist. You don't know what you expect. You kill people. You murder babies. Of course you don't know about respect.
Just shut your mouth.
How many babies did you kill, Mark?
People like you that can't shut
their mouth. How many babies did you kill, Mark? You want to talk about the baby killing?
They honestly either they're delusional like the gays for Gaza, right? There's so many of them there. I mean, a lot of them, at least 1,000 in fact. So these are people that know.
Wait, how did you know that Soren was a gay for Gaza? Did you know that? How did you know that he was a gay for Gaza? How did you know that Soren was a gay for Gaza?
My point is like the
you don't have any point. You're Zionist.
They're so delusional.
You're Zionist.
Really
you have no point.
The
Your
only
people
reason to talk to, and is that the people in the audience,
You're here
they
to
may not be
rationalize
idiots,
and
they may not be
normalize
hypnotized, they
murdering
may not be,
children. I mean, you have no point,
emotionally
Mike. I mean, you
disabled
gotta,
like so many of you
soul
are.
searching you need to do. I mean, there's no way anyone can rationalize murdering babies. And that's what you guys do here. You don't get it.
No, yeah, we don't rationalize murdering babies. We rationalize killing terrorists, and there's collateral damage.
Yes, of
War
course.
is
This is your
ugly.
narrative, Jacob, but no one's buying it anymore. You know, that's the problem.
That's
you guys
okay,
have.
fine.
Soren,
I don't care.
is
You do not need the approval. Hold on, Soren. You seem to think we need the approval of the world. We do not.
We know that
There
for
have been
sure
so many
now.
times in history where
True.
we've had our backs to the wall, and we only
And that's
relied
what
on
you've been
ourselves.
saying for the past 4 decades. You guys are above the war. No one believes that. But now
No, we don't say we're above the world. We just have our own set of values, and we'll
Yes,
protect
because
them.
you're chosen. It's a part of the problem.
You know,
You're
see,
superior.
that's the thing. I've tried to tell you this 3 times. We were not chosen. We chose God. Not God chose us. You
Yeah,
don't
so
understand
also
the
to make
story.
the same thing. Yeah.
No, it's not. There's a completely different thing. Because that's what's been used to subjugate us for 2 centuries is, oh, you're the chosen people. You're better than us. No. God went around to all the nations of the earth before the Jews and says, do you want this Torah? It's mine. I give it to you. Every single nation said, no, we can't live like that.
But Chinese
We
people,
were the
Chinese
last
said
one.
no.
Hold on, shut the fuck up.
Wow.
We were the last one. And he said, do you want the yoke of the Torah? The yoke. All of
How much
the
Aboriginal in Australia?
Listen, be
Listen.
quiet. Listen.
How much
Shut
First
the fuck-
Nation?
Shut up. Or you're going to go to the audience. You're not listening. You're interrupting. So, we said yes. We chose God. That makes us the chosen people because we chose him. He didn't choose us over other people. So stop with that narrative. Okay? You have no longer the ability to use that narrative.
I like it when you get masculine. I like it when you get all mad.
You don't talk about
Not
Aboriginal
and then-
Australia.
and
You don't
then-
talk about
and then
Japanese.
he-
Chinese.
And then he shuts up. I think he wants to be punished.
Middle Eastern.
I think you gave him a nice patch and bucket already, right?
I'd like to ask
He just said, fine, fair enough. You heard him
say.
say, fine, fair enough. That means he should not be using this line of logic again in the future. So stop it, Soren.
Nothing he said really means anything, and he kind of doesn't really understand the English. It's sort of like the robot. He just sort of mouths things.
I mean, let me ask you a question. Soren, I have a question for you. How much do you know about urban combat over the last, say, 5,000 to 7,000 years, give or take? Well,
Marshall, he knows nothing about peace.
What kind of question is that?
But Marshall, you're trying to the problem is that we have 2024. We have a different moral benchmark. You can't use the same morals that we had back in 40s. I don't know if you realize that these days.
Yeah, actually, Soren, we don't need to, Soren. You're exactly correct. Hold on, Soren, quiet. Soren, exactly correct. Because we have better weapons, okay? We can target them, right?
But you don't use that. That's the problem. When you assassinate anyone.
Soren, do you think they're actually carpet bombing the area? Just quick question.
Well, this is not me saying. This is Biden saying indiscriminate bombing. I mean,
I don't think they know what carpet bombing is.
no, I didn't say carpet bombing. I said indiscriminate.
Okay.
You know.
So,
It's not indiscriminate. It uses munitions and J-dams, which are intended to collapse the tunnels. Again, the point of asking how much you knew about urban combat was to indicate that no matter what period in time we are at, urban combat chews up and spits out the innocent people in the city. It always has and it always will. And it doesn't make any sense to think that we are somehow better than our predecessors.
Marshall.
Way more fucked up shit than this dude's now.
That's why
I
you
just
was
got a guy
bombing.
who was a Syrian.
But
He
you
literally fight 10,000.
we can't make the same mistake over and over and over.
And
That's why you do it.
It's
It's not a mistake, Soren.
Stop interrupting, Soren.
Hold on, guys. Quiet. Okay, Marshall. Okay, Marshall, let's hear from Kristen, because she's new to the stage and that's not a good chance to talk.
I would thank you. I would love that. And I can also be shut down too. No big deal. I am a girl and I'm sensitive, but also I can hold my own. But that's okay. We can all have a very healthy discussion. I'm wondering, Soren, I see I'm sorry, I thought I had a notification of some sort. So I see that you are anti a lot of things and pro peace. And I understand where you stand in all of these things, and I really appreciate that. What I've noticed in your discourse, and with a lot of discourse that happens, is this thing that waiting for the other person to finish is difficult. And I know because we have very, very ferocious feelings. I have ferocious feelings too, to the point where I'm like, I will defend them in real life. Like, yeah, I'll defend them, with my body if I need to. And I know a lot of people feel that way as well. It doesn't mean that I'm right or wrong. It just means that that's what I feel, and certain rights and responsibilities I take very seriously. And I just wanted to let you know, Soren, that it's really cool to hear what you have to say, and I'd really like to understand more. I just love it if, when you're finished, to let me know, let people know, and then wait to interject if you don't mind until that other person is finished. Because when people talk over each other, it gets things very exciting, but it's hard to listen to. Okay, thanks so much.
Thanks, Christian. But it's in both ways. I mean, if you realize that I'm actually the least interrupter, is actually opposite. The other group of people that I'm debating with, the other one actually keep interrupting. But anyway.
Yeah, I understand. And I'm really bad at it too. I do. So,
Oh, poor Sword. You're so full of shit. You interrupt all the time, you fucking rat.
Wow, calling me a rat. Imagine how.
You are. You're a Persian fucking rat. You're a fucking dirty dog is what you are, you dirty snake in the grass.
Oh, is he Persian?
Wow, calling me a rat.
Look, you just made a rat noise, and you unintentionally made a rat noise. That's even further evidence to support my hypothesis that you're a human fucking rat. Anybody got any cheese for Soren? Anybody got any cheese for Soren? You're a fucking Persian rat.
Thank you.
Marshall, I'd love to hear what you were saying before. I knew you were putting it in historical perspective with urban warfare.
Well, what I was going to say was from settlements in both the Yellow River Valley and in between the Tigris and the Euphrates, there were several sackings of cities. And in the ancient world,
Fascinating, Marshall.
or path you can take and I benefit as well, that's where I think the freedom lies. How can you softly influence people to your side rather than threatening them?
You said, how could you what rather than what? I didn't hear that last part.
How can you softly influence people to your side without threatening them? I believe Donald Trump is a master of that.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a good one, because I always wonder, like, I watch, like, certain shows, and, like, it just seems like violence is just the fastest way to force people to, like, to impose your influence on people. Like, I'm just gonna use, but I like that's why you said without threatening them, right? Because the threat of violence is always there. You can either go to jail or, yeah. So I totally agree. Yeah, he's been able to influence a lot of
which is why the Mike Tyson example before, like if I see Mike Tyson crying, I'm not going to test him because I know what he's capable of.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
And
no violence had to take place, but you knew the level of violence he's capable of, and that in itself was enough to keep.
Absolutely.
So you guys talking about the topic?
Yeah, we're talking about just what a strong man. And everyone. Yeah, man, it's mental health. Something different. What's going on, baseball? Jason, Angel, Wesley, Ludwig, no, the Eurovision success. What's going on? What's up, Doc?
So no, KK about to say some smart shit because Uncle KP the 8, my ass about to nod off. I'm like,
Now, when y'all were first talking about, like, you know, did you see your dad cry and all this other stuff? I never saw my dad cry, and my pawpaw, when my dad got killed and Mamaw passed away, he never cried, but he was fixing a drive shaft under his tractor one day, and a rattlesnake got underneath there with him, and JJ, his bulldog, went underneath there and got the snake away from him. The snake got JJ, and JJ got the snake. And that was the only time I ever saw my pawpaw cry, was over that dog.
Yeah, you had been like the last straw thing, like when you like a dog owner or a pet owner, you really attached to your pet, and then after you had some losses and stuff, and nobody probably knows about it. He probably been keeping it in or keeping it private, and then when that happened to his pet, he probably kind of like lost.
Grown men do cry, Mr. Lebowski. Grown men do cry.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a man crying. You just can't do it in front of a woman or your woman. Any woman. And then I agree with that. Do it in front of her.
Yeah, but
that's gonna be dependent.
sometimes you can't help it. Because if your kid dies or your friend's kid dies or something tragic happens, you can't help it. It's just you're crushed.
Okay, that's the exception. I'm talking just crying about shit in general. Like, yeah, someone like your kid dying or father dying, couple quick tears, well, you better get over that shit quick. You better get like crying about anything other than that, bro. Like, nah.
go get your ass in the shower somewhere. Right. Go wash your hair. Go cry. Get the fuck out of my face.
Like, for instance, when I sent my son off to college, right? I cried like a fucking baby. I even fucking hit KP and Brad about it. Crying like a fucking bitch. But something like that, I would never let my woman see me cry for something like that. Never.
Well, I want to talk about the topic about men's mental health whenever you can put me in your queue.
You're in it now, bro. Go ahead. You're in it. Go ahead.
So, I mean, if you look at the words closely, you'll see in men is the word me. In the word mental, you see me and men, but it's also about mental, as in meant. What do you mean? And then health, heal. So, as a man, as a healer, as like a shaman or a leader, you're a healer and a river unto yourself and to your people. So, if you have the wisdom or the spirit, you can be a vessel or a channel or, I guess, a filter for your people. I mean, this app is full of insane toxicity. A lot of neuroticism, a lot of psychopathology, low education, no education. And so, if you want to help men heal, in my opinion, the only way to do that is through words of education, words of wisdom, words of power, words of love, words of kindness. All those divine attributes is how you heal a man's mind. And a woman's mind, don't even bother trying, because the only thing you need to worry about is healing yourself. A woman's mind is fucked. Don't even bother attempting to heal a woman's mind. And I would just quote Napoleon. They're good for one thing, birthing more children. They're birthing factories. Don't attempt to try to heal a woman. Don't attempt to cure a woman, educate a woman. Just know that you are the divine artificer. You are that sacred cup, not a woman. And so don't waste your fucking time. I would just say that, they will chase you and chase your light. Never chase a woman's star. You'll get burned like a bitch.
Damn, that was pretty. Don, Marco. Right, that's exactly what I was thinking. Out of everything he ever said on this whole app, that was the brightest shit I ever heard from you. How you doing, Evan? Oh, man. Yeah, man, I agree. Don't ever try to fix a woman's mind, fix her fucking nature. It's an uphill battle, bro. Don't ever negotiate with terrorists. That's uphill battle, motherfucking oil and mud. Fuck that. Yeah.
So I'll ask this, right? And so how do I don't know, this might be a stupid question, man. But I'm gonna ask it. How do fathers contribute to their daughters the way they are? Like the city girls that we see today, like how do, because ultimately
Don't raise them to be shitty girls. Simple. Yeah, fathers keep daughters off poles and fathers out of jail.
What was that last part? You said fathers keep what?
Fathers keep daughters off the pole and sons out of jail.
Yeah, but I think so I've seen like certain fathers, they call their daughters princess, and she's my princess, you're a queen, and that suggests that implies a level of entitlement, because like a princess is supposed to be treated a certain way, right? So, and this is the thing, I'm not passing any judgment, I'm just trying to understand, like, because a lot of us
I took the 4 years and 50
I
phones.
don't want to use that word plain, man. We take issue with
so
the
rip for
level of
people.
entitlement that a lot of young ladies have. So like I just want to know, what portion of blame do we as fathers and men have? Like when you're calling your daughter a princess, and that sinks into her consciousness that I'm a princess, and like she expects princess treatment from every guy. So it's like I'm just trying to understand. I'm not trying to judge anybody or say anything is right or wrong. I just want to know how do men contribute to this level of entitlement.
Well, the entitlement part of that, and Brad may speak on this as well because he has daughters, if he wants. I'm the king of the shut up. I'm the king of the castle. So you always gonna look up to me. How I treat my kingdom, the queen, and my princesses, that's how I expect you to get a man. If this motherfucker can't measure up to me, you don't need him. You follow me?
The words are king and lord, or lord and king. That's the perspective you need to have. Is you need to cultivate a personal perspective of lordship and kingdom or kingship. And outside of that perspective, it's all beta.
Well, there's got to be a balance. Real quick, where you started, there's got to be a balance, and I get what you're saying with the entitlement, because this is what's going on with modern women right now, because we have to the moon and back told them they're princesses, they're queens, all this other shit, but we didn't provide that balance. When we don't provide that balance, that's with anybody. Even when you raise kids, if you raise
your kids just kind of, and this is this new generation, this participation trophy. They're winners in everything they fucking do, no matter how bad they lose. They come in 27th place. We're still telling them they're winners. You got to provide that balance. So with daughters, yes, as a father, they are your princesses. They have to feel that. They need that fatherly love and affection and devotion. That's going to prevent them from seeking it from these knuckleheads out here that are just going to use them up and abuse them. The balance, though, is you have to give them a dose of reality to say, hey, that shit is earned. Your status as a princess is based on meritocracy. And once you start doing certain things, you will lose that status. And I think that's the problem. They're not being told that other side. They're not having that balance of reality. And I think that's where fathers need to really, really, really hone in and really get to that level with their daughters. For instance, I thought about this. I've got boys, but I've thought heavily, what would I do as a father to daughters, to girls? I wholeheartedly believe that I would just be honest with them and say, hey, in order for you to get this royalty status, you have to conduct yourself a certain way. So if you want the chivalry, you want the special treatment, you want that royalty treatment, you have to earn that. And you have to act like a princess if you want the princess treatment. The minute you stop acting like that and you want to slide over into this modern woman, city girl, boss bitch, fucking, gutter whore nature, and you put on that uniform, then don't expect that fucking treatment. And that's how the real world works.
See, and it's hard for me to even think about the father. Go ahead, Mark. But the father, though, they intentional to where girls ain't so thirsty for a guy to touch them, like he said, and keep their clothes on. But the part that's missing is, in a few generations ago, like the mother would teach the women how to be wives. They teach the daughter how to be wives. The kitchen duties, the cooking, and really build them that wifely, character. And the father was there to show them that love and attention from a male figure. So then they ain't thirsty seeking it. So that's the part that's missing. Once you have both of those parts, that build a real good character in there. But it's missing from today's era. And morning, sir, you stole it right out of my damn mouth.
Man, those are some solid ass answers, man. Like solid.
And here's the thing, buddy. You will see a lot of guys say the princess and all this stuff. But are you lording over your kingdom? You there, what, 2 days a week? Every other weekend? No, come on, man. No. Absolutely. And you have to have that dominance and control over your household in order for it to work. I've dated women who have been raised in two-parent households before, but they had a weak father, and it showed. It showed. They need the example to see how a king rules in his kingdom. If she's going to be a princess, they need to see how a king actually rules. And yeah, you're right. I think that was Morningstar. That's where the mother comes into play. She's got to see that example of how you dominate and how you rule your household and the leadership that you have over your wife. To make sure things are running smoothly. Setting up that structure, setting up that rigidity, setting up that solid foundation. And not only setting it up, but sustaining and maintaining it as well. If you don't set that example, it's all that princess shit and all that, it's gonna go by the wayside, and then you're gonna have what you see, which is these bratty ass bitches making a bunch of horrible decisions, even though they had two parents in the household. Pretty much, you gotta see that strength coming from that masculine strength coming from.
Yeah, I think
that was correct. Go ahead, Doctor. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I agree with, being a king in your own domicile. But when you're talking about, these queens and princesses, yeah, okay, you treat your wife like she's a queen. You treat your daughter like she's a princess. But they still have to, cook their own food and do their own laundry, right? They're not just princesses and you just get them everything they want and they don't want to clean, so you got a maid, all this other stuff.
No, I think you're missing the point of it. Like Sig said, you rule over your home, which with strength and love. Because that woman who's under you, your wife, or whatever, baby mama structure, whatever you guys got, she's going to be subject to you and teach those girls how to be little girls, how to be teenage girls, how to become young women, and to act right. You're not out here twerking your ass. You out here, hey, get in the kitchen. Let's do this together. Let's bake a cake. All that kind of stuff. Because guess what? It's all out of respect for the king.
You got to show them what part they played in helping that king. Basically being a helpmate. It's literally the Adam and Eve. Eve was designed to be a helpmate to Adam. And Adam was the male human that ruled the earth.
And Sig has met one of my daughters and how she acted. Why didn't my brother? That's what fathers do. Now, boys, I can't say shit about because I ain't got no sons. None. So,
it's way easier with boys, bro. Way fucking easier. The biggest thing with boys is just setting the fucking example, man. Setting the example, being consistent with them. And it's easier with boys because they're going to try. And boys, you can put hands on and not feel bad about them. But I think the most important thing you said, KP, you mentioned the L word, love. That's the biggest lesson I had to learn as a father raising two teenage boys. Because the way I was raised by a single mom who disciplined me out of sheer emotion and frustration and anger and anxiety because she had too much weight on her plate because she's trying to wear pants like a fucking man and run a household, which is not designed to do. The discipline that came down to me was not out of love, and I had to learn that lesson that, hey, when I discipline my boys, it can't be out of frustration, it can't be out of anger, it can't be out of anxiety or a sense of being overwhelmed. You have to discipline, and you have to teach, and you have to coach with 100% intention, pure intention of love behind it. Doesn't mean I can't get in their ass. Doesn't mean I can't fucking fold them up physically if I need to, if they get out of pocket. But always remembering that, hey, when you have to go to those extreme measures to discipline them, you always got to follow that shit up with love and let them know, like, hey, yeah, I got on your motherfucking ass. Yeah, I had to lay your ass out. I had to knock a couple teeth out of your fucking mouth. But this is why I did it. This is why I did it.
Moderators, can I jump in the queue here? Let me know when I can speak.
Bro, there's no queue. Go ahead, man. You're good, man.
So when I was at Fort Benning doing infantry school, the only book we were given was a pocket-sized Bible, which had the New Testament and then the Old Testament. I guess it was the full Bible. But anyways, what I'm saying is, when I'm waiting in line, I would read Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Psalms, the New Testament. And what I'm trying to say is that if you have mental health problems, or you have motivational problems, organizational problems, physical health, cleanliness, if you're easily angered, if you drive and you have anger management issues, if you have road rage, what I'm trying to say is, as the metaphor is a cup, and it's essentially neurolinguistic programming. If you want to make yourself smarter, if you want to make yourself less angry, if you want to improve your financial situation, if you want to improve your mental health, your physical health, reading books and putting the words of wisdom inside of your brain is the quickest route to mental health salvation. It's my opinion. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, but the chemistry. Oh, really? But you're not even putting positive words into your brain. So let's talk about chemistry after we get to the root problem, in my opinion, which is you have a word problem. You're consuming negativity. And so I created a company called God Hypnosis, where I read passages from the Bible. And in my opinion, that's enough to course correct somebody that has a negative attitude, negative way of thinking, a negative way of speaking. You want words of positivity. Yeah, who? What I'm trying to tell you is that books is the great salvation. The metaphor would be a book with a spirit rising out of it. If you want to change your attitude, if you want to change your spirit, if you want to change your ethos, your pathos, your logic, your ethic, your physic, your whatever. If you want to change who you are, if you want to change your codex, your DNA, you can actually modify your DNA through words.
This Benning is what, Georgia, right?
Yep. Yeah, I did a National Guard contract, and everybody that I did Benning with went immediately to Iraq. Yeah, I was like, so wait a minute, I have an option of doing a National Guard contract versus an active duty contract? I think the National Guard contract might be safer, smarter, better option for me.
I'm gonna tell you some weird shit.
What's up?
I have never seen a motherfucking insect turn belly up and die. This motherfucker just laying here dying on my goddamn table.
What is it?
It's a fly outside on the front deck. Just laid on the table dying. Okay.
You mean like Edmund's army career when he joined the Nasty Girls?
Yeah, I have no Army career to really speak of. I have experiences. I have over 1 year of active duty training, 12 months active duty training.
Wow. Man, I bet it was such fun for you to be a butter bar in the Nasty Girls.
I didn't have much time, but it doesn't really make a difference because your first sergeant, your command sergeant major, they're technically officers. And I just, there's no difference. Everybody's working together.
I don't know. I think we might need a few more paragraphs of that one to figure out your mental health on that one, guy.
I'm just saying that when you finish your time, when you do your 20 years, and you're out, and you're just a civilian, what's the difference? Everyone still has the same problems that everyone has to contend with. I'm thankful for my time in, and I'm thankful that everything has happened the way that things have happened. I have not a single regret because in terms of mental health and wisdom, and my dad does not agree with me, but I view that everything that has happened in everyone's life is exactly as the way it was supposed to transpire. Now that kind of deals with simulation theory, but I think it really deals with God. And to me, mental health primarily deals with God. Now, many people do not like that because there are many atheists and agnostics that do not want to discuss God. I can discuss God 24/7. It's my favorite topic.
And that's how you get your mental health. Cool.
I think it's a source of mental health. I don't think it's the whole enchilada, but I think it's a significant portion of the seasoning.
Okay.
The material world is more God than God is. God is totally abstract. It recedes.
Okay. Well, what's up, other minus?
Whatever floats your boat to get your mental illness, I know some people rely on God, and that's fine and dandy, whatever floats your boat, but there's other alternatives out there, man. There's other alternatives out there.
I don't think that the alternatives are as good as the seasoning as the God mix. That's my opinion. I wouldn't knock your opinion. Everyone has to choose their poison pill. I like my poison pill because I think it's good information and it's in words. This is a communication dialectic game.
Right, and again, like I said, you're talking to someone who took a almost decade-long journey to fix their mental health and get their shit together, and there wasn't an ounce of God involved in it. I resemble that remark. Well, not the last part. Like I said, I'm not going to go as far as to say God is not a solution. I think it is a solution to many people, and if that works for them, fine. But it's not the end-all, be-all because we clearly have evidence that there are people who don't believe in God or
No, that's fine. I'm just saying that in terms of the theater, I mean, I'm an actor. I like the performance. And so to me, the words are very important. Now, God is technically a category of content. I'm just saying, your opinion is your opinion. And I don't think that your opinion is correct, but I think my opinion is also incorrect, meaning that I'm not an all or nothing person. I think anybody who is an all or nothing person is generally really fucked up. You have to operate in the gray zone pretty much in everything. And that is the division between the black and the white, or the dark and the light. It's the crack.
Okay.
Yeah.
The crack, I like it.
I mean, in Hebrew, it's called tzimtzum, or essentially it's a circle with what's called a radius. The radius is essentially you.
Heiko.
Yeah, but it's definitely, I'm agreeing with Sig on this one. When it comes to like theology and like your belief system, and always relying on that belief system. I was a very devout Christian all the way up until I got out of the military, and then it became the time I started questioning that, and wondering, like you said, the Godisms of like, if everything that was meant to happen was meant to happen. But it took me 10 years, to even get to where I could get counseling, and I went from Christianity, I dropped Christianity, became a Druid for a while, and then, became all worried about Mother Earth, and I was trying to find answers in other places. And ultimately, going to counseling and talking to somebody twice a month ultimately helped me get back onto my God path, and being a Christian again. But at the same time, it wasn't entirely the God path that got me there. It was having, a stability structure that helped me get around those problems.
Yeah, that's why I'm not all or nothing. Your material well-being, your housing, your clothing, your food, your financial security, your physical security, your mental health, in my opinion, is primarily determined by environment. Everyone can have a very high level of mental health if they have a very healthy environment. If you don't have a healthy environment, you won't be healthy. I have personally everyone in this room, I'm sure, has been through a journey. I'm just saying that to me, I use words now in a way that I didn't use words in the past, meaning that I do believe in what's called neurolinguistic programming, meaning that you can force words into your brain, and that's called reading. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is, like, if you like a 5-star dinner and you enjoy Thanksgiving, gentlemen, if you want greater mental health and satisfaction, strength and courage and joy and love in your life, you have to read more books. There's no greater alternative. And it's not free. It requires work. Your job is to start reading books. That's my opinion. I encourage you to do it.
Dude, I get a Penthouse magazine every month, dude. I'm always reading.
They still make those. They still print those out now.
Yeah, damn.
No. But you know what? They're actually bringing back Playboy in 25 for print. Because they stopped printing them, but they're bringing it back in 25. So Playboy's on the way back. Yay, good articles.
You seem like
Yeah,
you
they
like
stopped the
Playboy.
Santa Post and shit.
I've still got a Vanessa Williams one around here somewhere.
Yeah, it's probably stuck between the other books.
Yeah, his playgirl's a
Hey, don't not, unless you've ever seen Smokey and the Bandit, you don't know what he looks like unless you've watched Playgirl Centerfold.
Hey, man, that was a badass Pontiac.
Well,
Burt Reynolds was a
quote for Playgirl.
Listen, moderators, you've been generous with me because I have dominated your stage with my verbosity, my words. But I do want to demonstrate my theory that I can actually make you feel good, and I would consider this neurolinguistic programming or hypnosis. And I would only need 60 seconds to 120 seconds of your time, depending on how generous you want to be. Doctor doesn't like it.
No. I'm about to say, I'll pay $1,000 and it ain't gonna work.
Well, see, no, this would be hindsight bias, meaning that tomorrow you would be like, yeah, actually.
I said 5. I put up 5. Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is I can program you through words, and what I'm saying is tomorrow when I can, and what I'm trying to tell you is tomorrow when we speak again, you'll be like, yeah, I liked what you said.
Well, let me ask you a question, John. As many times you and I talked, on the phone, not on Clubhouse, but and then on Clubhouse, and then I've known you for well over 3 years now. You've had 3 years. Do you think that you've linguistically programmed me?
No, I'm saying that I think that.
You lost knowledge right there. There you go.
No, I'm just saying that everything's pretty short term. Long-term programming requires just constant short-term programming.
Well, short term, hey, I'm not giving you my phone number. So, no, you're not going to do that bullshit here.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if you can't.
You ask a question, no.
Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, according to your, non-cue thing, you can just say whatever you want. I could just start reading it, but I'm trying to be respectful.
And yes, you're respectful to ask if you can do something, and I just said no. So now if you do it, now you're being disrespectful.
I agree, but I'm not going to do it. But my point is, if you would permit me, I'm trying to get back to the title, which is Men's Mental Health, because I have. Let me tell you what I have. I have these little 3x5 cards that I bought at a bookshop, and it's just passages. It's basically cue cards or cliff notes of the Bible.
No.
But you should allow it, in my opinion.
John, in your opinion, I like the fact you have one, but I'm gonna have to stick with KP on this one. And I like you, John.
No, that's fine. I'm not gonna. I know you don't like it. You don't like it. I know. You want conversation, and I agree that you want. But you're smart. But what I'm trying to tell you is that by having conversation, you're getting what's in the back end, meaning that these cards are already in my brain. So for me to just be emotionally.
I don't care about the cards.
I know you don't care about the cards. I'm just trying to tell you that if you want.
I don't care about your back end either.
I agree. I'm just trying to get to the topic. I'm trying to offer evidence or tool to the room. That's all I'm trying to give to the room. You guys are grown men and gentlemen. I'm just trying to proffer something to the room with regards to title.
Sir, you're not that smart, okay?
I think I'm actually intelligent, and that's my opinion.
Okay, fine.
Well, I've never had to declare bankruptcy, so I think I'm more intelligent than you.
I have yet to declare bankruptcy, sir.
That's only because you're trying to rack up as much debt as you can before you have to. That's pretty smart if you ask me.
How did you put that so succinctly? Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Come on. Don't dox me, man. Don't dox me like that. Wait till I blow the credit up as much as possible before you start gossiping out my gossip.
Dump all that shit. Dump it.
I had to file bankruptcy. It only takes 2 years before they start giving you more credit, bro. So, yeah, it's a smart move, in my opinion.
I mean, that is one thing.
That was what screwed up about my mom. When she and my dad got divorced, she had to declare bankruptcy. And that was in 1991. And, dude, in 2001, she was worth like $20 million plus in the bank. And she went to go get an apartment, and they denied her
because of her fucking credit. And that was from 10 years before, and she had already made millions back and paid all the debt off, and they were still fucking with her credit.
She must have filed her credit the wrong way because it's only some years, bro.
Yeah,
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years, depending on what you file. Yeah. But the most common one, what is that, chapter 7, I think is the most common one.
11 is a structured settlement. 7 is outright bankruptcy. 7's very rare.
So I don't know, was she running a business or how did she file it? That's what I'm saying.
No, she was, my dad made her a single mom because she was a really important businesswoman, but he was also a nurse anesthetist and made $250,000 a year with his own anesthesia business. And so he made her quit her job and become a stay-at-home mom. And then when they got divorced, she tried to go back and do it all again. And she did it all again, starting her own business and shit. But ultimately, when she made her money back, she still had that stigma of the bankruptcy over her.
Doctor, can I mention something about your mom's willpower? Because you've spoken about her so many times. How do you think your mom's willpower, where did she get her energy or drive from?
Her dad. And the fact that her mom died when she was 13, and then her dad died when she was 21, and there were no grandparents, there was nobody left, and she had 2 kids, and she just had to fucking use the old expression, pull herself up by the bootstraps, and she did.
No, but I mean, that couldn't be like her main generator, these deceased people. Like, was she a God-fearing woman?
Actually, my mom believed in Buddha.
So, I mean, The Wisdom of the Buddha is a book called the Dhammapada, which is by Gautama, and many people haven't read it, and I've read it. And if you think that Jesus is the greatest thing on earth, I agree. But until you read Gautama, I don't think you understand that he predated Jesus by 300 years, and I think it's totally possible that book circulated to Jerusalem, and Jesus read the writings of Gautama.
There's a bunch of Hinduism, a bunch of the shit Christianity stole from Hinduism, and that outdates it by like 2,500 to 3,000 years.
Yeah, Hinduism's the other thing. And so if you're totally Christian, that's great. But until you study China or India, your concept of the world is rather limited because 2.5 people are Indian and Chinese out of every 5. Like half of the planet is India and China. So until you study the writings and you consider yourself an academic, you're not. You have to study the writings of China and India to get a greater comprehension or consciousness of this planet.
What's going on, my fast? What's up, brother?
Well, I mean, who doesn't love, Confucius? Man goes to bed with itchy butt, wake up with sticky finger. I love those kind of sayings.
What you saying, my fast? I said, what's up? Oh, man, same old shit, just chilling. Man with hole in pocket, feel cocky all day.
Word.
Man with hole in pocket is broke.
Man with hole in pocket knows that from nothing comes something. That's the truth. Opposites, yin and yang, black and white. Look at this room. This is a milieu.
A man who farts in his pant has a cent in his pocket.
So, Mafashion, since you got that green bean, what do you think is important in achieving mental health for a man?
Silence, I agree with him.
So, if silence is the secret, and then there would be a ritual to silence, I agree with you that silence is the answer. But many people are there's 2 forms of silence. One is stop speaking, where I could just mute up. The second one is how do I silence my mind? That is the essence of meditation, which, in my opinion, is the fundamental achievement or objective of all men's mental health.
Silence, and you won't shut the fuck up. So there you go. So you fucking
I know, but I'm elucidating or bringing out the topic in silence. It's an important topic to discuss. I'm not being, obnoxious or facetious. I read these things. I talk about these things. That's why I'm attracted to the room and to the topic, and that's why I'm talking.
I think when you make women silent, when you're able to silence women, I think people achieve the best level of mental health and also that meditational health you talked about.
And we'd be all floating on clouds.
Yes, we will be one. We will be one with the spirit. We will reach our true nirvana.
Yes.
I don't know. When I meditate, I don't typically try to make myself not hear myself. I actually talk to myself and answer myself, and work out the problems and I vocalize them.
How many beers in?
Well, when I meditate, it's always like you're not completely wrong, but I don't meditate when I'm drinking. I meditate in the mornings.
You meditate.
How many beers in?
All right.
The Playboys die.
The penthouse are better, okay?
The Larry Flints.
Yeah, who said that the other day? Somebody said that in Chicago there's a library and it has a Larry Flint quote right in the front.
Oh, I don't know.
No, that's a strip club. It's called Admiral Theater. It says the greatest right a government can afford its citizens is the right to be left alone.
Oh, yeah. So is the
Well, that's he's over there, that area. So, you don't know.
It's called Admiral Theater. It's in concrete at the top of the theater by Larry Flint, founder of Hustler. And, Bob Guccione founded Penthouse. Larry Flint founded Hustler. And who founded Playboy? Hugh Hefner. That's the thing about this app and about all these apps is this is the modern day platform of publishing. If this app existed in 1980, Penthouse, Playboy, Hustler would be on this app. I mean, this is the men's. Yeah, I mean, I have many Penthouses and Playboys, and the content is incredible. Like, it's written by geniuses, like the best that America ever created.
You said tens of thousands.
No, I'm born in 82, so I bought the entire 82 Penthouse and Playboy collection. I probably should buy the Hustler collection as well, but I haven't.
That's why you act that way. Man, you need to go get your woman, get some real pussy.
Bro, for many years now, the Lady Hawk, my sailboat, has been bringing that pussy to me.
No, I ain't talking about your left hand, Mary and her sister's so motherfucking forestry. Just saying.
Yeah, I would like to get married.
He's got a 22-foot sailboat that he has at a marina that's right next to a really nice restaurant, and then like half a mile from the beach. And dude, he sends me pictures of this shit. It's a nice little sailboat for as small as it is. It's a nice one. But he'd be like, "I'll make this bitch." He'll send me pictures of him and some chick. He's like, "I'll make this bitch."
Okay, now I gotta look at
that boat get him some boat buddies.
Oh yeah. Both will get you pussy easy, man. Yeah. Guaranteed pussy magnet.
But Doc, I gotta look at you weird now. I'm not sitting here talking to a man about a sailboat.
Well, he doesn't know how to sail, and I used to be an offshore regatta. I was for East Coast.
I'm not talking to another man that owns a goddamn boat you cannot operate.
No, I can't operate it. I've taken it out. I've sailed it. I've operated it.
Oh, have you? That's good.
I mean, I hired a captain for $300, but we did it.
Well, if you're gonna hire somebody, go ahead.
I mean, if you plan on bringing bitches on it, fucking shit on it.
You gotta have a captain.
You gotta have a captain.
You ain't got time.
No.